Hey there. Interesting look tonight. I don't know if I like it better or not. I don't know. I've got like a... Oh, and I'm always backwards. I got like a fuzz here. Right there. Oh, well. How are you tonight? It is Monday night. It's 9 p.m. Central Time. St. Louis, Missouri. I'm your host for the Deerwood Realty live stream, John Shink. Who's John Shink? Well, I am the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a small residential firm, and we help buyers buy homes and sellers sell theirs. This weekend, I guess it was last weekend, but I just now remembered it, was at a party. I was the oldest person there, all young couples and things, and babies running around and havoc and whatnot, and it's quite a show. It was quite an event. Somebody asked me what I did. I said, I help people sell homes. That was my elevator speech. They're like, and I don't even care. Like, I don't even care that's funny. To me, it's like, that's what I do. Help people buy homes, help people sell theirs. What else do you want me to say? Like, I'm a real estate agent. I'm a real estate broker. I don't know. But anyway, I was gone this weekend. I was not on the YouTube, and I'm sorry. I might not have even been on Friday. My wife went on vacation. She went on spring break, and I was just beside myself as far as like navigating. You know, it's weird. We live in the same house. I owned this house when I was single, and she moved in, and I think that was in 2016, 2015-ish. It's been a long time, and the house has been better because of her presence by far. Like, it's not even close. And when she goes on vacation or when she goes on like business trips and whatnot, when I'm by myself, it's like the house is not the same. It's not. I'm not a lonely person. I don't really need a lot of, I don't know, interaction, I guess. Which is odd because I have a live stream. But it's just one of those things where it was not the same. And I get thrown off my schedule, and it didn't go well. So I'm glad to be back on a Monday. I'm looking forward to the stream. I'm not going to say we're going to change direction on the screen. I'm just looking at myself. I got the lights, and I'm just like, I'm trying to make it less shiny, like on my face. I want to, like, what I see is a darker image than what you see. I'm working on it. I got to have light above me, I think. I could try, maybe, I don't know. Do you mind if we try? I mean, since you're here, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? You say, well, John, you should have done this before the show. I probably should have. I don't know, I like the warm light. What if something goes wrong? Should we really be working on this now? Well, I'm just checking. Does that make me more white looking? I can't turn it down. I can turn it up, but that's going to make it even more. I mean, that's just like, it's insanity. I like it. The way my screen looks, I like. The way it's on the television, I don't like. So, I don't know what to do. I don't think that matters as much as I thought it would. I'm going to do this. I like the warm light. I like that. Looks good. I could put it through like a filter. The weird thing, so if you don't know, I have a DSLR camera set up for my live stream, and I'm not broadcasting in 4K because I don't really need to. But the thing that I don't like about the camera is, how do I explain it? To me, it doesn't, the image that it puts out isn't great for a live stream. It would be really good for a recording. I don't know if that makes any sense. And I've thought about getting a different camera, but I've got a GoPro that I just bought. I got a new computer I just bought, and the real estate market is not going like perfectly great for me as far as like it's very odd. It's hard to predict what's happening next. So, I mean, buying a new camera for a live stream, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good idea. Watch me buy one next week. That's the way I normally do things. But anyway, yeah. So tonight, like I said, we're going to do some things that are a little bit different. We're going to talk about some stuff that we don't normally talk about. We're going to have some tweets. We'll talk about some tweets, and then we'll talk about some articles. That's pretty standard. But the beginning is the part that I'm kind of intrigued by. A couple of things on some side notes. One, like I'm at 152 subscribers, and sometimes people actually watch my stuff, and I'm trying to be better. I appreciate, like, I had like maybe 50 views on my live stream on Thursday or Friday. Thursday. I think I missed Friday. I think Friday was the one I missed. But anyway, that was a lot for me, 50. And I appreciate it. And I mean, I don't know, tell your friends, tell your family, hit the subscribe button just to see if we can grow the channel that way. I don't know. I don't understand the technology quite as well as I should, I guess. I guess that would be my complaint. So that being said, thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the views. And just know that it's appreciated. I started the channel, oh gosh, maybe 2 years ago now. And I thought it was just going to take off. Like I thought it was going to just be like perfect. And it hasn't been that case. My best video is one that I don't know why it was the best video. I don't know. It's weird. And my streams, I don't understand. Some of them are great and some of them aren't great as far as like views, and I've never figured that out. So, but now the streaming is like, how do I get all this stuff in my head out? With the real estate market and with stuff in general, how do I just get it out? Like I see so much stuff, so much information comes in my area that it's just like, let's get it out. Let's see if it can help somebody. We're going to go into some stuff. We'll go into some stuff tonight. If you don't like the nature of the show and the direction that it's going, you're free to watch any program you'd like. I'm just happy that you're here. So let's get to it, I guess, right? I've been thinking about this. I don't know how I can frame this, so I'm just going to do it that way. Hopefully you can see it. And then what I need to do is I need to do it this way because I like it better this way. Okay. So here, let's frame it since now it's on the screen. Everything's good. So I saw a tweet of Madonna on a late night talk show recently. And apparently she's in her 60s. And apparently the dancing was of sexual nature. And people found that to be off-putting. And as Madonna's want to do, she took that opportunity to try and drum up even more. It's starting again. Believe it or not, oh gosh. I've got some things in place for the gnats, and I've significantly knocked them down, but clearly I haven't gotten them all. Anyway, Madonna took that, and so in my opinion, one of the possibly least talented people to ever be famous. I mean, no offense. Her talent is in being able to be shocking enough that people pay attention to her. Like that's the model. And so by me just talking about it, she has won. Okay? Me just talking about her has won the game for her. Because I'm basically advertising, I don't know what it is she does anymore. I believe she has I don't know. Anyway, I've never really liked Madonna. And I've been there for her whole career. And I don't understand. Like everything she's ever done has been based in controversy, not necessarily like music quality or enjoyment. Now, has she put out a few good songs? I guess. Name the last great song Madonna. I got two, and I wouldn't say great. I got Ray of Light or something that came out a while ago. And then on the first, I can't even name the songs, but she had one album that was relatively interesting. Maybe. But anyway, let's see what she's been in the news for lately. She's been in the news for her face being puffy. And oh, by the way, that was the thing I have for the gnats. I got a bug zapper for the basement for right now. It's working very well. So we got that. We got the face, and then we got the dancing. And then I got nothing. And so to me, now look, I'm just a real estate broker / live streamer / a couple other things. When you are noticed more for being your face or your age while dancing or your controversies and not known for your music, that's kind of all you need to know. That's kind of all you need to know. Now, I don't think you're going to see me ever getting Madonna type, a Madonna type following, because I don't really do anything that's offensive or anything like that. I don't think. I was worried tonight if I was actually worried. I know that's crazy. I was worried that if I spoke ill of Madonna or if I said the wrong thing, that people would jump all over me. But I don't have that many subscribers, and the chances that they like Madonna as well, enough to really come at me is small. So let's go over the article, and then we'll get back to it. It says Madonna dances bizarrely in social media posts as critics slam her desperate attempt to stay relevant. Possessed, maybe. Now, is Madonna relevant? So I disagree with even the premise of the title. Her desperate attempt to stay relevant. Anyone below the age of 30 probably doesn't even know who Madonna is, and probably doesn't care. Uh-oh. Not good. Did I lose my camera? I did. Not good. I don't know what's going on with that. I got to fix it. Now I got to remember how I fixed it. Okay, I went here. Is that better? Are you kidding me? There we go. I got a weird thing going on with my setup, and I do need to fix it. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I need to check that. Anyway, let's continue with the article. Sorry about that. If it happens again, oh well. It says, on Saturday, February 11th, the Queen of Pop took to Instagram with this video of herself strangely dancing around inside a bathroom to the Blondish remix of her 2005 song, Sorry. Now, look, I don't even know that song. And then apparently this is a picture of her. It says, Madonna appeared to be wearing the very same floor-length black silk coat she donned for the 65th annual Grammy after-party event, which she attended just moments after the quote-unquote Material Girl singer took the world by storm with a new face while presenting a performance at the renowned award show Sunday, February 5th. So the face thing has bothered people. For her Saturday style, the 64-year-old opted for a black-laced corset bustier top and black parachute pants, choosing to wear her auburn-colored tresses fully down in a crimped hairdo. It's so ridiculous. And that's hair dancing. It says Madonna's followers quickly flooded the post comments section to put her bizarre behaviors on blast. It says, all my favorite pop stars just spin around in their houses now, one social media user wrote, seemingly in regard to the mother of 6 and Britney Spears, who has received similar criticism for her odd online antics. All my favorite, maybe you've got the wrong pop stars. Maybe they shouldn't be your favorite. Maybe it's a giant mirror and you're holding it up and you're seeing like your problem right now. And it says Madonna. Oh man, I swear. The gnats just drive me nuts. Madonna, please stop this ridiculous act, another fan begged, as a third individual chimed in, stating she's like someone out of a horror movie, with another asking if she was possessed, maybe. Is Madonna possessed? Huh. Interesting. Said one person wrote a lengthy, disheartened message for the Like a Virgin vocalist. These are always plants because they name the songs in the article. It's like, this is a plant. You know what a plant is, like a planted story. As they apparently had enough of the sex coffee table authors changing face. See how there's another product right there? Especially after she responded to her Grammys backlash and claimed she was once again caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny. Huh. Interesting. It seems contradictory when Madonna complains about how our man-dominated world does not accept women after 45, but then complies by doing her utmost to refuse her own aging process. The Instagram user expressed she could have contributed to a change of perception by showing the world age is a gift, which is to be accepted with dignity and gratitude. She abandoned her strong concept and complied. This is not controversy. This is sad. That's how I see it. She gave in to the pressure she claims to rebel against. Well, if you don't know that Madonna is absolutely one of the, how should I put it? Is it fame whore? Can you say that? I mean, like her whole career has been based on mostly controversy. I mean, I don't want to say some of the things that I thought because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but just like, so let me know what you think. Is it? I don't know. Is she doing music anymore? Is that what she? What is her main? Like, what does she do exactly? What is it that she does? And then, like you tell me, My demographic, my key demographic is males like 25 to 35, which I appreciate. Thank you so much. You're the key demographic in the marketing sphere. But you tell me, like, do you guys even know who she is? And then I guess another question would be, is her age the problem here? Or was she just being weird? If a young person danced around and acted like that, would you say, oh, it's fine? I don't know. Does it depend on the product that she's trying to sell? It's a very odd thing. Madonna, like, just as I'm trying to explain this to you as best I can. I'm tired of certain individuals in our world, just because they've been in the spotlight for Warren Buffett. If you want to invest in stocks, you need to be like Warren Buffett. I mean, Warren Buffett and his partner, just slipped my mind. Oh, what's his name? He did the Investor's Almanac. Anyway, he did a very awful building design. He was going to pay for at USC or something. Charlie Munger. They're supposed to be the greatest people ever. Most intelligent. And what's the economy do? Let's go ask Warren Buffett. The thing I find even more fascinating with is, who's Warren Buffett going to vote for president? And you know what? Remarkably, it's been a Democrat since I've been alive. Any Democrat. Like, you don't even need to ask. It's like Colin Powell when he was alive. Like, he was never going to vote for a Republican, even though he was a Republican. It was very odd. It always made news. So Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, I don't need him. I mean, I get it. Like, he's on the TV talking about all kinds of stuff, and it's like, can't you just go home, take your money, and just shut up, go away? Like, I don't want to hear your thoughts on methane gas produced by cows. I just don't care. I don't want to hear about vaccines. I don't want to hear about anything. Just go away. And then when Bill Gates and Warren Buffett got together and Buffett's going to donate all of his wealth to Bill Gates' foundation, it's kind of like, oh, God. Now they're together. Madonna's in that same category. At some point, just go away. And you may say, well, John, you go away. You go away. I've got 152 subscribers on YouTube. I've got 17 subscribers on Rumble. I'm trying to get to 25. I don't feel like I've really come into your life and just, I just don't feel that way. I feel like I've got a lot of room to run. But anyway, put it in the comments or put it in the chat. What do you think about Madonna in general? Is she a role model? I mean, do you like her music? What's the most weird thing you think about her? I mean, that she's done? Like the one thing that you're like, well, that was clearly over the line. I would just be interested to know. I'm kind of looking here because I've got this thing right here, but it's not a zit, I don't think. But it sure does look that way. I have a big nose. Sorry. It's a fact. And if I do the show with a zit on my nose, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. All right. Have we beat that story to death? Bottom line, I'm mocking a planted story in a manufactured story in a online entertainment rag. Wow, I thought it was going to go a lot different than it did. Let's just put this. Let's just be honest. That's what I thought. Okay, the next thing. Let's see if I can do cameras right and stuff like that. Look here. The next thing. So, you familiar with the YouTube? So some of the things that I watch on YouTube, I watch guys like, I call them the tech bros. Like, they're all these guys that know like exactly what computer chip to buy, and then how to set up your systems. And obviously I haven't done it perfectly because you just saw my computer flash out for a second. But anyway, they are the masters. They know it all. I've always come to you like, I don't know it all. I don't. The minute that I know everything is a problem. It's a problem, basically. So anyway, the tech bros are like, hey, we're making bank on YouTube. And they are. They're doing a fantastic job. But I've always wondered, like, if this is between you and me, right? Not the rest of the internet. My show is kind of real estate related, okay? Are there big real estate agent sites? Sure. But that's not really, I don't know how to explain it. That's not how it seems to work for tech people and for tech channels. I mean, these tech channels have like millions of subscribers. The one that we're going to talk about, they've got 3 channels and they're all over 1 million subscribers. And what my hypothesis is like, just in the tech space, these are people more likely to hit the subscribe button, more likely to watch than people in the real estate space. Like, I know people, I mean, I don't think that my crowd is the type of crowd that's going to hit subscribe. Like, they're just not going to do it. I mean, that's my working theory. You could tell me I'm wrong. But anyway, what's fascinating about this story is, we'll get to it now. Watch. Let me see if I can do it. That's not the story. Here it is. Linus Tech Tips got hacked. And I follow them. I subscribe. And I've seen this happen more than this channel though. And so tonight I'm going to go through this, and I thought that we could, talk about maybe a greater concern. It says, Linus Tech Tips YouTube attack is the latest in a line of crypto scam breaches. Google has been watching YouTube accounts get hacked for years. Is there more the tech giant could do to protect creators? Now, let me tell you just about my experience with YouTube and how things are set up. For me, if I were to ever get monetized, to get monetized, as a condition of monetization, I would have to have 2-factor authentication. What is that? That just means like, your bank or something, where you go in and like you put in your password and then it sends you a code and then you put in the code. Okay. It's very annoying, but I started it, because sometimes I'll leave my phone upstairs and then I got to go upstairs to get my phone. When I don't need my phone, I just want to do like an email or something like that. It's annoying. But the reasoning for it has been, and by the way, that the reasoning for it has been for security. But the other thing is that people have talked about how, like, this sounds kind of far out if you haven't heard it before. The homeless are being penalized because they have burner phones, and so they never have a phone. Attached to their account, and so they're not able to like check for like homeless shelter availability or like food. I said it. Okay, I know it sounds weird that it's like the homeless are being impacted by 2-factor authentication in a negative way. I just read it. I don't. To me, I mean, the fact that you're homeless, that's a problem. Like a level of problems, like that's higher than 2-factor authentication. But, who am I? I'm a real estate agent, John Chink. I'm a real estate broker out of St. Louis, Missouri. That's who I am. So anyway, let's get to it. It says popular YouTube channel Linus Tech Tips has been hacked this morning, with the channel's 15.3 million subscribers seeing videos for crypto scams instead of tech hardware reviews. It's the latest in a breach of series of high-profile YouTube accounts being hacked, with scammers regularly gaining access to prominent accounts to rename them and live stream crypto scam videos. Now look, I was like, that was all one sentence, but here's the period right here. So 15.3 million subscribers. Honestly, I thought it was like a million or two. 15.3. And this goes to my belief that perhaps people in technology who watch this stuff. Okay. The main Linus Tech Tips channel was breached earlier this morning with several live videos broadcast before the hackers started making old private videos public. The account was eventually suspended, presumably as YouTube employees worked to restore it. Other Linus Media Group YouTube channels, including Tech Quickie and Tech Linked, have also been breached and given new names focused on Tesla. Now, look, I think I subscribe to Tech Tips. I don't subscribe to the other two, but I've seen them. And honestly, in my own like subscriptions, when somebody goes and gets hacked, because it's happened more than once, like you're just like, why am I subscribed to why is Elon Musk talking about crypto on my, I didn't subscribe to that. And then I'm like, oh, maybe somebody got hacked, but I subscribe to, I don't know, a couple hundred people. So how am I going to know which channel is, I mean, unless it's in the top 5, I don't know. I really thought I had the net problem fixed. I'm a little bit embarrassed. It says, it's not immediately clear how the channels have been breached, but I know. But owner Linus Sebastian tweeted that he was aware of the situation. Later, in a statement posted to Floatplane, a streaming service spun out of Linus Media Group, he said that the company is working on it with Google and is getting to the bottom of the attack vector. A vector? Oh, there's one. With the goal of hardening their security around YouTube accounts and preventing this sort of thing from happening to anyone in the future. He also promised to discuss additional details on the company's podcast, though warned they may not be able to come this week as it's still a developing situation. Well, I did see a video where he lays out what happened. There were also people that put out videos like before he did, and it's amazing to me what I would call the new media, quote unquote. Like a story happens, you know about it instantly. 1,000 people put out like tweets or YouTube videos and stuff like that so that they can hopefully game the search to get people to watch their shows and whatnot. And the thing is, it's over like immediately within a day or two. That's how quickly things are rolling over now. It says this is just the latest in a series of breaches that have occurred over the past year. Generally, really, it's only been a year. Generally designed to promote live streams that push viewers to amateur-looking crypto sites through links or QR codes. The British Army's YouTube channel was hacked to promote crypto scams last year. British Army being the actual army. I thought that might just be like, a name of something. Like, some guy in his basement talking about real estate. To promote crypto scams late last year, just months before tens of thousands of quote-unquote viewers watched a fake Apple crypto scam on YouTube. Popular Vivo channels on YouTube for artists like Lil Nas. Does the X, is that part of him? I don't know. Drake, Taylor Swift, and more were also affected by a breach last year that saw videos uploaded from an unauthorized source. It says, we've reached out to Google to comment on this latest YouTube incident and to provide information on exactly what the company is doing to protect creators here. While today's breaches could be from a combination of passwords and two-factor authentication being compromised, it feels like YouTube could do more to prevent the damaging effects. I know, because I watched the videos, that's not what it is. These scams have been going on for months, and one YouTuber claims they work through fake sponsors reaching out to their creators. Now, that's what I saw. YouTubers are then convinced to download a file related to the sponsorship, which is just malware designed to steal cookies, remotely control PCs, and ultimately hijack YouTube accounts. Okay. And then here you go. This is their suggestion. I would personally like to see YouTube implement a lockdown mode for high-profile accounts where if you sign in from an unknown browser location based on IP and other factors, then you can't perform a channel rename or access live streaming options or video deletion for a period of time. Combined with alerts for when a new location is signed in, this could help channel owners recover their YouTube accounts before any real damage is done. YouTube could also implement a guardian system where you need second approval from another account to rename a channel or delete videos, or even additional two-factor prompts for channel actions. This could also help slow down the impact of a YouTuber's own machine being breached. Hopefully, YouTube has some even better ideas and can get this under control, because I'm sick of waking up to a phone full of notifications about junk crypto videos from YouTube. So I looked into these suggestions. We're going to go over them. For the first part, okay, a lockdown mode for high-profile accounts where if you sign in from an unknown browser or location, you can't perform a channel rename or access live streaming options or video deletions for a period of time. I'm kind of for that. However, I would also like to have it on every account. I mean, like, how many times have I changed the Deerwood Realty name in the channel's existence? Like, you should have, like, if you're going to change your name now, like, depending on how long you've been on the platform, if you've been on the platform for, 10 years and you want to change your name, you should be able to do so over 24 hours. That would be fine. I mean, that seems reasonable. Okay. And then, I don't know if an alert that says, hey, someone else is in your account, I don't know if that's okay. As far as accessing live streaming options or video deletion for a period of time, it's kind of weird. Like, the internet is forever. Some people do delete their videos over time. I'm not going to delete mine just because I don't know how long I'm going to be around. And it's kind of just, I'm keeping it for, for posterity. So I don't know about that. And then it says you could also implement a guardian system where you need second approval from another account to rename a channel or delete videos, or even additional two-factor prompts for channel actions. But the problem is they're not breaking in through the two-factor. That's the issue. And we know that, like, scammers are bad on YouTube. We see, like, I see spam in my comments, and I see spam on my my chat. Sometimes that's all I see, which is depressing. But I wanted to check something. We'll check something in a minute. But they're stealing it by this fake sponsor idea, reaching out to creators. And I just wanted to tell you that I've been contacted, believe it or not, on my channel. I've been contacted for a couple things. One, like, will I interview somebody on my show? And it's always been someone that's part of the machine that I don't particularly like. And by that, I mean, I don't want somebody want to come on, like, here, this guy talks about how to fix your credit score. And then they sent a link, like, the guy on, like, he was on, like, a local news broadcast, like, not even St. Louis, just, and my show's not really about, like, selling out to other people. Like, part of the reason why is I'm a little bitter because I've never really had the chance to do that. And then, so that's one thing. And then the other thing is the things I have been pitched for. I mean, like, what if, no offense, I mean, I love my subscribers, but, like, what are we going to do? Like, how many, I mean, let's say we get, like, I don't know if you've ever been on YouTube and you get, like, they have those little speakers, those in-ear speakers. I don't remember where they're from. But anyway, like, I could do a pitch for them, but who would go buy this thing? Same thing with the Sunday lawn thing. I got no one to go to. No offense, but 152 of you are not buying lawn care solutions from a guy on the internet, like right now. And so, anyway, I'm kind of hamstrung in the sense that I'm not big enough to be hacked. I'm not big enough to have sponsors to come and like say, hey, we want to work with you. It makes me sad. But then again, like, what would I pitch? Like in the real estate space, what am I pitching? Zillow? Open Door? It's very odd. Like the automotive guys, they almost have like an ins. Like say you fix Chevys, so not only can like GM sponsor you, but then like Edelbrock and every single manufacturer of aftermarket parts. And then automotive parts stores, automotive products, oils, lubricants. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's such a massive part of the economy. Now, that same thing is true with real estate. So, like, what could I get behind? Well, we talked about it. Like, could I shill refrigerators? Well, not a Samsung or an LG, because they're terrible, and not GE, because that's owned by China now, the brand for appliances. There is no good except for like Sub-Zero, and I don't know about you guys, but I can't even afford a Sub-Zero. So I mean, you've got that. Could I advertise paint? Sure. I feel like that's a natural thing, but I don't really design. I mean, I literally, like, we work within what the home seller has to try and sell something. We don't really paint a bunch of walls and things like that. But you're not going to, like, Zillow's not sponsoring me. As much as that would be great, I would take the $10 million that I require for a sponsorship and use it on probably property. I'd probably buy I'd like a farm. And a farm, I mean, like maybe more like a ranch, but I don't want to do any ranching on it. I just want to be like left alone. It might seem counterintuitive because I have a YouTube channel that I would want to have a place where I could be left alone out of the suburbs, just somewhere where I could just be left alone. It's a very odd thing, I know, but it's true. If you saw, I don't know if you guys would have seen my stuff from, maybe if you go on Facebook or something, look on my trip to the Balkans. I mean, there's some empty out there, but I wouldn't go that far. I just, probably St. Francis County, which is past Jefferson County, to the south seems to be my area. Anyway, you want to say, hey, if these companies weren't reaching out with these lucrative deals, then you wouldn't have this issue, because you wouldn't have people opening obviously fake emails. But it's not obvious. All I'm saying is the chance, like, I have been pitched for stuff, and there's no way, like, it's done so poorly, there's no way I would be interested in that type of thing. And should my channel ever be hacked, I would consider that honestly a badge of honor, because it meant I was somewhat relevant in a space. So take that a number of different ways. Next thing, I mean, I might just talk about just random stuff all night the way it's going. Elon Musk, let's talk about this. Let's see if you can see this. You cannot. Here we go. This is Elon Musk. This is his Twitter feed. You know that I'm mystified by this fellow. I don't have a Tesla. I don't desire a Tesla. I don't like the idea of the Cybertruck. Doesn't interest me in any way. There's not a whole Neuralink's frightening to me. The Boring Company is funny. But see, like even like Twitter even recommends like I might like Bill Gates. I'm not gonna like Bill Gates. It's not gonna happen. He's a weird dude. Weird dude, and no. So, but I wanted to get into this. So there's he's caused an uproar. It's the two things. One, starting April 15th, only verified accounts will be eligible to be in For You recommendations, which is fine because I never read For You recommendations. This is the only realistic way to address advanced AI bot swarms taking over. It's otherwise a hopeless losing battle. Voting in polls will require verification for the same reason. And then the other thing is to get Blue Check verified for $7 a month, sign up via web at Twitter Blue. And then given that AI can solve any problem, you're not a robot test, it's now trivial to spin up to 100,000 human-like bots for less than a penny per account. Paid verification increases bot cost by 10,000% and makes it much easier to identify bots by phone and CC clustering. Obvious conclusion, paid account social media will be the only social media that matters. And then William Shatner, who we like, maybe. He's like in his 90s. Hey, Elon Musk, what's this about blue checks going away unless we pay Twitter? I've been here for 15 years, giving my time and witty thoughts all for bupkis. Now you're telling me that I have to pay for something you gave me for free. What is this, the Columbia Records and Tape Club? Which is funny if you remember them. And then he responds, it's more about treating everyone equally. There shouldn't be a different standard for celebrities, in my opinion. I don't know what to make of that. So, I wrote a little notes to myself. So first, Elon Musk is changing Twitter, and do you care? And then the bots and the subscribe counts benefiting platforms, when should they? That's what I wrote because it was just a note. Like, I feel like for years Wall Street has used subscriber count as the main basis for evaluation of a social media company. And so to me, that's a perverse incentive for the social media companies to welcome as many bot accounts as possible so that they can show their numbers increasing every year. In fact, if I were a social media company, I would have a whole team of bot creators to create bots on my social media company so that I would never not have all the numbers. Like, I would make numbers every year because I would make everything up. And this is just me, and I feel like I'm a pretty fair-minded person. So, if you get into the real disgusting humans, I suspect they're running tech companies, at least the top like 10% of them. Because, you'd be stupid not to. So in a weird way, Elon Musk is fixing a problem that does exist by eliminating the ability of anyone to have a free account, which you can have a free account now. It's just it won't go anywhere. It's basically my YouTube channel, except on Twitter. That's problematic. That's problematic. So that's one thing. And then so the next thing I was thinking, so are you allowed to change a failing business? Now, you may think that Twitter's doing wonderfully. Twitter, to me, was never doing that great. That was why Elon Musk was able to pick them up at all. I won't say on the cheap at $40 billion, but I got one. I got a bug while we were sitting here. But when he bought Twitter, okay, that meant that the old Twitter was over. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know about you, but Twitter was doing some things that were pretty terrible. So there's that. So I feel like he's allowed to change his business however he wants to. And just as you're allowed to go and, go to Mastodon or True Social or Locals. I like Locals. I just can't. The problem with all these things, no offense to those wealthy that can afford this, if I have to pay, like on Locals, for a subscription for like, say, $5 a month for like one person, all of a sudden if I have 10 people I want to follow, that gets pretty expensive a month relative to, my income. So there's that problem. It's been that way. He isn't the first person that's found that problem. I certainly have. Now, what else did I write? What is, I think, a reasonable question is, what is Elon Musk's vision for Twitter? Now, I don't think, even though free speech is important, I don't think that that's the reason for the purchase. I think the purchase of the subscriber base was significant because it allows him, if he was doing other things with social media or his plans were to do other things, which has been reported on previously, maybe that's an advantage. I mean, if you've already got it built in, now you can change whatever you want to, and you've kind of already got the thing built. He bought subscribers, basically. So he can change it however he'd like. We don't know his vision. And then the final thing is, does any of this matter? How many people do you know that are on Twitter? I know that's kind of a silly question, but I talk to my kids, they're never on Twitter. I show a tweet to my wife, she's not on Twitter. Twitter's considered old manish for my kids, which is amazing. And to be fair, he can be brilliant at many things and still screw something up. Story of my life. All right. Well, that's it. That's the stories that we're going to tell today. Let's get to it now. This is the Deerwood Realty. Look, I haven't even gotten my homepage fixed. It's been like a month. But we're here to look at the 30-year fixed mortgage rate. Let's make sure that you can see it as well. You can. I'm going to work on this. I'll work on these settings, this layout settings soon. Because I don't mind if this whole section, right? I can't here, I can. I don't care if this whole section here is this. Anyway. 30-year fixed, 6.54%, an increase of 16 basis points from yesterday, which isn't really yesterday, which was Friday. Why the increase in rates? They did raise rates last week, not mortgage rates, but interest rates. So there's that. We're going to get a tweet that kind of explains a little bit better, but I try. Anyway, if you were like, John, would you go buy a house right now? Yeah, if you had to buy a house. Life-changing event. Not planning on moving. Buy a house. No problem. Should you buy a house right now? Well, I mean, if you don't have to, it doesn't seem like the right moment, given everything we see. That's my standard statement. All right, moving on to the tweets. Amy Nixon writes, 3 weeks ago, I did a housing interview on Wealthian, where I predicted that the new government programs would be rolled out that help perpetuate the debt cycle and prop up home prices. Surprise, California is leading the way with a new shared appreciation loan. And so this is by the Sacramento appraiser, Ryan Lundquist. I'm following him. You can see it says the California Dream for All program is scheduled to start tomorrow. This will give first-time buyers up to 20% for a down payment It's a shared appreciation loan. I'm anxious to see how many buyers jump at this and how this affects certain price ranges. So they're going to give you 20% down. But understand that California has weird property tax, I believe, where if you buy a house, your property tax never goes up. So you have like a 90-year-old person that's never had they had a $10 tax bill in 1940. And, oh man, I messed that up. Sorry. Hit the wrong button. They bought their house in 1940 and the taxes were like $16 a year. That's what they still pay. I think that's right. If I'm wrong, somebody from California tell me I'm wrong. But anyway, upon sale or transfer of the home buyer repays the original down payment loan plus a share of the appreciation value of the home. What happens if the home price doesn't appreciate? California households earning under these incomes already moved to Texas, so there's not going to be many takers on this California Dream for All program. And then it says then somebody's upset, pronouns in the name. Home ownership is the number one way for families to escape intergenerational poverty, building assets instead of paying a landlord. Why do you have a problem with that? Which, by the way, Amy Nixon does not have a problem with that. But she does respond. She says, if they borrow the entire down payment and take out a loan for the home, they don't own anything on the day of purchase. Equity equals zero. Most homeowners at least start with 5 to 10% equity ownership. Does anybody seriously not want people to have houses? Okay. And by the way, on this, home ownership is the number one ways for family to escape intergenerational poverty. I don't know about that. Has that been proven? Show me the statistics that say that's correct. It might be a myth. Might be. In fact, you could say that, like, if you're talking about a farm, it could be causing intergenerational poverty just by owning a piece of property. It's like having a noose around your neck that just gets tighter and tighter as the years go by. I'm just saying, you can look at it different ways. Jeff Weniger, who I think follows me, which makes me happy. It says, because few people service a mortgage for all 30 years, they get divorced, refinance, move, or die. Mortgage rates are compared to the 10-year Treasury notes. While Treasury yields had fallen, mortgage rates are stuck in the mid 6% area. There's a huge spread versus the 10-year of 304 basis points. So we're at like 3.04% on the 30-year minus the 10-year Treasury rate. So we're at 3%. Yet the spread is another 3%. So very interesting. I think many people who are just looking at the economy from a distance, like I would say I'm one of those people, like we see different things like that don't really provide a narrative that's, how do I put this? Here's one. Okay. How can you have record high used car prices, okay, and a bad economy? There seems to be a demand for used cars that's not even being met, which is why the prices are so high. How can you have super high traffic and like home showings with affordability being so low? How can the Treasury be so low, yet mortgage rates be so high? Why is the spread so large? Like these are strange things. So we'll just keep going. Unusual Wells on Twitter's America's banks are missing hundreds of billions of dollars per The Economist. This came out at 11 o'clock this afternoon. What do you mean missing, someone writes. Unaccounted for, pinched, bamboozled, borrowed without asking, nabbed, nicked, acquired by unethical means. And you may say, John, that's a nutty story. I'm going to try and do this. Don't make fun of me. It's a boomer thing. I'm going to go to this story here. And go right here. Like, so we see America's banks are missing hundreds of billions of dollars per The Economist. But then you say, well, that's weird. How could a bank be losing money? Well, then you have this. It says, J.P. Morgan reportedly owned a bunch of rocks that was supposed to be $1.3 million worth of nickel. It says, and this just happened like, look, March 21st. It says, call it getting nickeled and dimed. J.P. Morgan Chase is reportedly the victim of a scandal rocking the world of international metal trading. The financial services company owned nine contracts of nickel worth about $1.3 million. Those 9 contracts or portion of nickel turned out to be bags of worthless rocks. So, I mean, it seems like people might not be paying attention, and it's possible that, I mean, who knows? Darth Powell, PPP cost U.S. taxpayers $169,000 to $258,000 per preserved position, even though the median annual salary saved was only $58,000. Where did all that money go? Into second homes, boats, Rolls Royce. They literally sold out. My ex-neighbor owned an industrial construction business. He bought $300,000 worth of vehicles and upgraded to a $2 million home thanks to PPP. Never needed any of it for his employees. The whole idea that PPP, like the loan, it was a loan, that it didn't have to be paid back. There were people advertising, we'll get you your loan money that you're owed. I did not take a PPP loan. I would not do such a thing because I don't want the government's charity. The government, and I don't want the government's tentacles in me any more than they already are. Anyway, just a thought. Kira Mason on Twitter. She's a realtor in Philadelphia, I believe. I didn't think I'd be writing offers with inspection deductibles, escalation clauses, and waived financing contingencies in March of 2023. Yet here we are, upside down emoji. I have been in this situation recently. It's not unusual to go over asking. I wrote a pretty plain contract, and I felt like on the buyer side, why would I waive inspection? Why would I waive financing contingencies? Like, that's like cash. The inspection deductible thing is stupid. All that is like if someone, like if they say like, we're going to do an inspection, but we promise not to ask for anything over X or under. If anything is under X, we'll say we'll not do it. So if it's under 5,000, we won't even ask for it. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Why Crash Bros on YouTube won't stop. The most popular Crash Bro did 4.5 million views in the last 30 days, which is conservatively $70,000. Why would he stop? He's a freaking genius in my book. And here's the issue. Like, I hope that you're coming to me with some understanding that I'm not interested in the hype of the real estate world. I'm not a hypester or a huckster. I just tell you what I see when I go out and try to buy homes or help sellers sell theirs. This is just it. And the reason, this is a very strategic reason on my part, because it's not always going to suck. There's going to be good times for buyers and there's going to be good times for sellers at some point. Always will be. For me to, say that the world is coming to an end and you should just, no. He may say, well, John, you've said in the past, like, the housing market isn't great. It's not great. It's not. But in my 2 years of YouTube, if you want to be like, have a lot of subscribers and things, you need to do the Madonna approach. You need to do stuff way out of there that's not professional, that's not part of your, basically do anything that's like salty. So for me, like, it would be like, oh my, sell your house tomorrow. The house is or you're going to not have any value in the house at all. Or, the economy is going to hell. And like, if you don't sell right this moment, you're not going to get anything. It's like almost like it's almost what I would call technical redlining or technology-based redlining, where you're creating a mania with the intent of getting people, in this case, getting yourself clicks. But also, like, maybe somebody actually listens to you and sells their house because they think things are going to be a disaster. I just don't want to be that guy. I'm sorry. It's just not who I feel like I am. I just like to talk about the news and we go through stuff and hopefully learn something. I don't know. But yeah, if I did it, like, I've seen stuff in my, like, I hate to say it, but Google rewards what people are searching for. And so if people are searching for the words like housing crash, and you put out a video about housing crashing or housing crash, you're going to get clicks just because everyone else is looking it up. If you can figure out what people are searching for in Google and front run it, you got a very good chance of getting lots of views. All right. Moving on, I want to go over this. I've gone over this in the past. I'm trying to do a public service. You don't have to believe that. I just thought it was interesting. I'm going to make sure we're okay. Have you ever heard of MV Realty? Okay, let me tell you what MV Realty is. Okay, they're like, so let's say you're having a tough time, like, you've had some unplanned medical bills or something, but you own your own house. You can call MV Realty and say, hey, I need some money. And they'll be like, oh, okay, sure. And you'll get X amount of dollars based on your home's value. Oh, this is awesome. Free money. Wait a minute. It comes with a catch. Well, what's the catch? They get to list your house if you plan on selling it for 40 years. 40. Yeah, 40, not 4. Well, what if, like, my cousin's a real estate agent and I want to use them? Oh, you can. Then they owe the money to MV Realty. Well, that doesn't seem like free money. No. And when is money free? Add North Carolina in the growing list of states suing Florida-based real estate company for allegedly scamming financially struggling homeowners. And that's the problem. You're preying on people, and you're not, maybe you don't realize it, but you're only the poorest of the poor are going to ask for free money in exchange for listing their house. Now, rich people will ask for favors to list their house, like, can you get my kid in like the best private school in the city? But it's, oh, you mean I wasn't supposed to say that? Okay. Then ask yourself why I don't have a bunch of those types of clients. MV Realty is accused of misleading homeowners by obtaining mortgages on their homes without their knowledge. Now, look, is there some level of intelligence that's required to prove that you're not misleading someone, if that makes any sense? Like, so if someone's just totally stupid, okay, then are you really misleading them? They would be led anyway. Anywhere. Wouldn't matter. I don't know what the legal standard for this is. And by the way, like you may say, John, you're just angry at a competitor. Like, or you're jealous that they figured out an angle to get more listings than you do. Honestly, I don't care that much about this company. Like, I just don't. I have my own thing. Like, I like to help people buy homes and sell theirs. Like, that's what I like to do. All this other periphery, I don't like. I don't like it at all. So you probably wouldn't see me being interested in, like, I don't care. If someone wants to do this to their clients, this company's being funded by someone, you know. The company, according to North Carolina Attorney General Josh Steen, paid homeowners a few $100s in exchange for the right to be the listing agent in the event a homeowner decided to sell their home. MV Realty, under the 40-year contract, would receive money if the company sold the property, the homeowner canceled the agreement, or if the property was transferred in some other way, including foreclosure or a transfer when the owner dies. The contracts also allegedly permitted MV Realty to obtain mortgages on the homes unbeknownst to the homeowners. Stein's office, or Steen, I don't know, said in a press release that the North Carolina Department of Justice has received more than 20 complaints about MV Realty. We allege that MV Realty is preying on vulnerable people to trick them into unfair long-term agreements. My office is taking them to court to put them out of business. Well, I mean, get in line. They still haven't gotten out of business yet. In fact, they've expanded. I don't understand. I mean, real estate agents can be pretty sneaky, but this is like a new level of sneakiness. North Carolina joins Florida, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, among others, that have sued MV Realty for alleged deceptive, unfair trade practices. I was shocked. Philadelphia homeowner Timothy Calhoun, who entered into a contract with MV Realty, said at a hearing concerning MV Realty's practice, they never told me I was signing a mortgage. If I had known that I was going to put a mortgage on my house, I would have never signed the agreement. I've seen it described as like a lien, where they're the first in line. Lawsuits in every state seek to stop MV Realty from entering into new contracts, void the existing contracts, and have courts assign civil penalties to the company. MV Realty, which operates in 33 states nationwide, 33 states, previously denied it engaged in any false or deceptive practices. We are confident that after a full airing of the facts, the conclusion will be that MV Realty's business transactions are legal and ethical. In no way are they ethical. And that our team has operated in full compliance with Massachusetts law, the firm said in a statement to CBS Boston. One of the first things you have to ask yourself about ethics is whose ethics? Maybe their ethics, but there's no way. This is a disaster. So, next story. I get a call about every month from someone. Nice person calls me and says, hey man, I don't want my pictures on the internet of my house. I said, well, that's fine. I don't want your pictures on the internet either. You need to call the listing agent, because I don't have your pictures. I don't know anything about it. They said, well, my pictures are on your website, so you have my pictures. And I've gotten to the point where I figured it out. I'm the only person that answers the phone. Like they call Zillow ain't answering. They don't care. You call me, I pick up the phone, I answer it. And it's like, I don't understand how people don't realize when you put it on the MLS, it gets syndicated to millions of sites, those pictures. None of us control those pictures. They're controlled by the MLS. And to get them off of the MLS, then you need to talk to the listing agent who listed the property. Now, you should be friends with the listing agent because you hired them to list your house to sell it. Now, you may say, well, I'm the buyer of the home and I don't want people to know what's in my house. This one guy kept calling me and it's like, it's a security risk and people are going to know. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't want to know your contents of your home. It falls, the listings pictures fall off after a year anyway on my website. And I can't change just one, by the way. I cannot just change one listing. It's impossible. But anyway, I answer the phone, so that causes problems. So I get emails every once in a while too. I get an email. It's like, oh, great, I got a lead off my website. Oh, no, it's somebody bitching about a picture from 10 years ago. And you say, John, you just said it was a year. Well, that's true. About a year ago. Anyway, it sucks. I don't wish it on anybody. It's one of the crappy parts of being a real estate agent or a broker and having a website that somewhat gets seen. So let's talk about this. How to remove listing photos from your home from the internet and why you might want to. Look, I just told you how to do it. Call the listing agent. Picture this. You've just closed on your new home, and while you're excitedly unpacking your boxes, stocking your new fridge, and giving your nearest and dearest your new address, you realize even though you're officially the new owner, the ghost of the old owner is still haunting the internet. Even after you signed on the dotted line, exchanged keys, and started moving your stuff in the new home, the original listing photos will remain online. Depending on how you feel about having strangers accessing a virtual tour of your home, you may want to have those pictures taken down ASAP. It says the photos exist online thanks to the MLS. According to Anthony Garland, CEO of AGG Realty Group, your home's photo ends up online thanks to the multiple listing service. The MLS is a database used by real estate agents and brokers to share information like photos, floor plans, and more about properties that are for sale or lease. He said, adding that the MLS shares that information with most of the popular online real estate sites like Zillow, Redfin, and others. Exactly. But not Realtor.com? That's not cool. I don't know who owns ApartmentTherapy.com. Because how did that Realtor.com? Anyway, you'll need to contact the listing agent for removal. So how do you get the photos taken? Now, to do this, you need to contact the seller's agent you purchased the house from. If you feel uncomfortable, have trouble contacting them directly, reach out to your agent and let them know you want to remove pictures from the MLS. Garland says that it's not only is the process fairly simple, but once you get the ball rolling, it's also incredibly fast. Once you've removed the photos from the MLS, Garland explains, they'll essentially be scrubbed from the internet. You can also take matters into your own hand. If you want to avoid having to do this on your next home, Garland says you can actually put it in your sales agreement. You can ask for the photos to be removed in your contract so that once you close on your home, on your new home, the seller's agent will take the photos off the MLS. Good luck putting that in a contract in today's market and expecting that to work out. Because it just makes you look kind of weird. No offense. If it's too late for that, you can do some of the legwork on your own. You can also create an account online on online real estate sites, claim your home, and remove the photos yourself. It takes a lot of work. Here's why you should consider having them taken down. Garland says some people may want these old photos removed for privacy reasons. Others may want the photos removed for security purposes. Imagine if anyone on the internet could look up your address and get pictures of the inside of your home along with a layout describing every room. Creepy. How many people are actually doing that, though? And that's the issue I have. I mean, my God, if you're that interested in a house, you've already got issues. But there are benefits to keeping them up too. It's not all that bad news, though. Garland explains that there are some instances when having access to your home's old photos can be beneficial, like when you're looking at before and after photos to show off the work you've done. Leaving the old photos up could also help you with selling or renting your home if you decide to do so in the future. Well, then you would just get new pictures. I don't know. I have pictures of the houses that I've listed on my website, and I'm not upset about it. And if somebody ever asked me to remove them, would I? Yes. over time. I mean, like the house that I listed in 2017 isn't really that interesting to me anymore. But I personally, I feel like if you're going to go and find a real estate agent that, like, if they promise to do something, they should do it. And so part of the thing that I talk about with my potential sellers is, will your agent take good photos? And then I can show them, like, look, this is the last listing I did. These photos are outstanding. This house was a dog, and I managed to get people to buy it anyway. Oh, I mean, they're just attacking again tonight. Or, like, I always do listing videos for every single property I list. So, I pay for those. I give up. I've tried. Also, I'll do floor plans and I'll do 3D tours. Those are all things that I do standard as my job. I find it to be, but other agents don't. Other agents come in with an iPhone and literally snap like 3 pictures, put that thing online, and then they never talk to people and they just hope that it sells. And that's probably not the best way to do it. So that's why I like to keep pictures, because I paid for them and they're good with my marketing. Last listing. This is last article. This is about something that I'm seeing more of, is the more heavy regulation of short-term rentals, or STRs. I believe Philadelphia was big on this recently. But it says New Orleans cracks down on influx of Airbnb-style short-term rentals with new restrictions. Now, I went to New Orleans maybe a year or two ago. I found it to be incredibly restrictive, and I didn't enjoy myself in any way. I was happy to leave. I'm just being honest. It was pretty disgusting. New Orleans is a city dependent on tourism, which is what I found even more impressive. I was there as a tourist, and I was not treated very well. Adopted new regulations on Airbnb-style short-term rentals on Thursday after an emotional debate between residents and council members. When the new rules take effect in July, owners of short-term rentals in the city will be limited to licensing one property per block, and the operator must live on the property, whether it's the owner or a renter allowed to reside there. Let's read this again. When the new rules take effect in July, owners of short-term rentals in the city will be limited to licensing one property per block, and the operator must live on the property, whether it's the owner or a renter allowed to reside there. So what they're saying is you can't rent it and then have somebody else rent it out from under you. The decision came after a federal appeals court ruling in August obliterated a regulation designed to stop whole house vacation rentals by absentee homeowners, the Associated Press reported. The ruling also reignited heated arguments surrounding short-term rentals in the city since they became popular in the mid-2010s. The neighborhoods are split on this. The New Orleans City Council member Freddie King says neighbors are split on this. Opponents and supporters of increased regulations have been vocal about their contrasting feeling on the effects of short-term rental market in the city. Those against the new rules say that Airbnb-style properties broaden the city's tourism market and provide necessary supplemental income to homeowners. Supporters of the regulations say the influx of vacation rentals, typically driven by outside investors and absentee owners, inflate property costs and taxes for the residents. They also believe short-term rentals cater to partiers and have changed the atmosphere of the once quiet and charming areas. Look at this guy. He has a freaking ad on Fox News for real estate. That's pretty impressive. One New Orleans neighbor in favor of the regulation said his neighborhood has been taken over by wealthy investors. It's become a playground for tourists and those wealthy investors. He said, we're becoming a smaller, wider tourist resort, less like the city I grew up with in every passing year. It's kind of racist, but I guess it's okay. I don't know. The old regulation limited short-term rental licenses to the license holder's primary residence, a residence for which they claim a Louisiana homestead property tax exemption, according to the AP, which eliminated out-of-state property owners. Upon review, a panel of 3 judges at the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals unanimously ruled that the aforementioned regulation unconstitutionally restricted interstate commerce. That's interesting. Dan Wheelahan, an attorney for short-term rental interest, told the AP on Friday that the challenges in court will continue. 2 of her clients are reportedly a woman who has residences in Portland, Oregon, and New Orleans, and a company that manages short-term rentals in various cities. Whelan said the new rules have multiple legal and constitutional problems, adding that the new requirement states only a natural person can hold a property license, not a cooperation. This prohibition against corporate entities holding permits violates the Supreme Court's 2010 Citizen United decision, holding that corporate entities have the same First Amendment rights as natural persons. Some people are already holding licenses, so they're worried about their future income. Well, they should be. As existing holders who want to renew their licenses will have to win a lottery against other applicants on their block. You might put me in a lotto, and just like that, I could lose my retirement income, said one woman, adding that renting part of her house to vacation guests is more lucrative than having long-term tenants. If I go back to long-term rental, I'll have to sell my house. Councilmember Eugene Green said the 1 per block limit is a compromise with the people who want vacation rentals completely eliminated. I've seen signs saying my STR is my retirement, but for the people that I've spoken to, their homes and their neighborhoods are their retirement. Council members included an amendment from King that gives property owners the opportunity to apply for an increase in the limit for a given area. In order for application to be approved, there would have to be a bureaucratic review. There's Jim Swanson. Congratulations to him. Matt Smith Real Estate Group for ESP. I don't know if he's in St. Louis or not. I don't know. I might click on it. I don't know. I've never heard of him, but that doesn't mean he doesn't exist. In order for the application to be approved, there would be bureaucratic review, public comment from affected neighbors, and a vote by the council. Oh man, it just seems like we got to get back to this. Like, look, a single family home is probably not for renting out short-term rental wise. Probably not. Probably not a good plan. Probably shouldn't do that. You should probably buy a hotel or buy a condo or even build a multifamily property in a properly zoned area if you want to rent out property. Probably the way it should be done. And I say that, and I'll have people ask me, hey, can you help me find a house to rent? Sure. My own personal view on something really doesn't affect my view on whether or not it's a good thing for a community. I would say that I remember if you're in St. Louis and you like Tudor homes, then go to South City and see how they used to build neighborhoods. They used to put multifamily homes in residential neighborhoods, and it seemed to work. As long as you had good good landlords. Now, that wasn't for short-term rentals. And then they stopped. I mean, in the 1960s, now we don't have multifamilies in single family. We should investigate the cause of that. I suspect there's something to do with financing. But I don't know for certain, so I could be just talking out of my rear end. Anyway, that was the show tonight. That was a lot. Still working on the bug issue, okay? I thought I had it in good shape, but looks like I'm going to need a little more work. As always, I'm going to head out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good night.